Hello everyone, I am Shanti Mukherjee and the topic that I am going to share with you today is a brief on DNA, its structure, composition and function. Many of you might have heard in your life people telling that you resemble your father, you look like your mother, or maybe have habits like your sister or brother. What is the basis of the similarity? The answer is short and simple. It's the DNA or genes that you are carrying. It was in early 1950s that two scientists, Rosalind Franklin and Maurice Wilkins, who were studying DNA using X-rays. The photograph that they took served as a basis of a bigger discovery in years to come. It was in 1953 that James Watson and Francis Crick discovered the three-dimensional double helix structure of DNA, which earned them the Nobel Prize for the year. Now, what is a DNA? A DNA is a molecule that transfers genetic information or instructions from one generation to another that gives a living organism its particular characteristics or identity. A DNA is made up of two biopolymeric strands which are coiled round each other to form the double helix. Now let us look at the double helix structure of DNA. You can just see the two polynucleotide strands of DNA marked in blue. Now the question may arise, what is a polynucleotide? Polynucleotides are composed of simple monomer units called nucleotide. Each nucleotide is composed of one of four nitrogen-containing nucleobases: cytosine, guanine, adenine or thymine, a sugar called deoxyribose, and a phosphate group. The nitrogenous bases of the two separate polynucleotide strands are bound together according to base pairing rules A with T and C with G with hydrogen bonds to make a double-stranded DNA. The nucleotides are joined to one another in a chain by covalent bond between the sugar of one nucleotide and the phosphate of the next, resulting in an alternating sugar-phosphate backbone. Replication is the process of copying and duplication of DNA in a semi-conservative way, where the original copy is retained and the newly synthesized strand is a complementary copy with respect to the ATGC pairing. During replication, the closed double helix structure of DNA is transformed into an open bubble structure. This results in the formation of replication fork, a leading strand and a lagging strand. The leading strand and the lagging strand are antiparallel to each other, and with respect to the orientation of bases, the right side is termed as the 5' end and the left side is termed as the 3' end. DNA polymerase is a vital and most essential enzyme responsible for replication, and it adds base to the 3' hydroxyl end through a phosphodiester bond. Let me share with you a very interesting and important information about how a genetic information in two DNA strands is responsible for a particular characteristic in our body. This involves three very important steps. One is replication of DNA, that is, duplication of the two DNA strands into four. Next is transcription, where the information of the two DNA strands is copied onto a particular RNA known as the messenger RNA or mRNA. After a complex procedure of RNA processing, finally the information in RNA is translated into a protein through a process called translation. The combination of three procedures, replication, transcription and translation, is known as central dogma. Finally, a very interesting information to share with you. It is not the entire DNA, but specific sequences within it that carries genetic information and are responsible for influencing the phenotype of an organism. These specific sequences are known as the genes. Around the world every day, various innovative technologies, applications and experiments are being done using genes to bring about revolutionary changes. You must have heard about DNA fingerprinting being used to identify a criminal. Thank the genes. You may have heard about seedless fruits and vegetables. The credit goes to the genes. So, it is an extremely essential part of the developing technologies nowadays. Finally, to sum it up, a DNA is a double helix structure that carries genetic information from one generation to another and is composed of 4 nuclear bases, a phosphate and a sugar. I hope you enjoyed the session with me. Thank you and all the best.